Hey YouTube. So I went garbage picking yesterday, but I failed as a human being to find a lawnmower on the curb. So I'm kind of playing today. I got all my bits and tools out. Let's see. This engine was in my junk pile. It's thrown a rod. It didn't throw it through the block anywhere, but it did throw a rod. I took the head off. The cylinder doesn't feel too bad. A little bit of scratches right there. Overall, not too bad. This engine here, which I'm draining the oil out. This is the one that was on the red Troy belt that's scratched terribly. I'm experimenting. I have a third similar engine, but you can see there it did throw a rod, so it's pretty much junk. I'm gonna try to see if I can switch out some kind of crankshaft, connecting rod, piston, something from this engine to this engine. The crankshafts are different diameter, so I don't know if it's gonna work, but I have nothing else to do. So stay tuned. So we're off to a good start. This is the engine that I'm trying to salvage the crankshaft from, and I was able to get the sump off of it with no problems. So let's see what condition it's in. So I wanted to show you guys something I discovered, one of the failures of this engine in front of us. As I was trying to remove the camshaft, which was right there, it was pretty much wedged in there. So to try to jiggle it free, I started turning the crankshaft. And as I turned the crankshaft by hand, the camshaft did not turn with it. And neither did this gear. This gear is plastic. This little chunk of metal, or chunk of plastic right here, is supposed to be the keyway for the crankshaft. And I think previous owner ran this engine without oil, and it got too hot. I think it melted that plastic. Somehow or other it got destroyed, and that threw off the timing, and well, he pretty much ruined this engine. But hopefully this crankshaft and connecting rod are okay. This is the crankshaft out of the other engine. It's no good. It's all scored up very badly, but it's got a metal timing gear, so this one would not have that problem. And unfortunately, I don't think this one will fit on that crankshaft. So this may be a lost cause here, but we'll keep going. I removed the end cap. It feels very smooth. It's not scored. Connecting rod also feels very good, as does the journal on the crankshaft. So I think, and by the way, I believe this crankshaft is straight too. So I think we have good parts on this one. It just has a bad cylinder. So maybe we can transplant it to the other block. I'm going to try to get this crankshaft out. I'll add one more comment. When you crack open a Briggs engine, this is the older Quantum. This, on the inside, compared to the new overhead valve engines, These are much easier to work on. They're a little bit bigger, a little bit more room to get your fingers and your socket wrench in there to get the bolts out. It's another reason why I prefer the old Quantums. Enough of my rant. So I have some unfortunate news. This is the piston and connecting rod and the pin that goes inside that connects it to the piston. This all looks great. The piston, the skirt, is a little scored. I wish it was better. This side is better. You can see some scoring, but this side here, you can definitely feel it right there, unfortunately. This is the piston and connecting rod from the engine that threw the rod, so this is garbage. This piston feels better, but I can't just swap the connecting rod. They're different sizes. I think you can see there. I'll do this. The one on the right that's destroyed is a much wider diameter. And this sure looks like a much beefier piston. You can see there. So, I need to kind of rethink what I'm going to do here. Status update. Here is the block. I put a little gas on it, try to get all the oil and little chunks of aluminum out, pieces of connecting rod, try to get all that out. Then I hosed out the gas with just water. I'm letting that sit in the sun just to dry. So I think I'm going to try to put everything back together once it's all dry. I am going to have to get that timing gear that was destroyed, that plastic gear. But we'll see what happens here. And I'll just show you, I also cleaned out the sump. This is not the sump that came off this engine. It's the sump that came off the other block. The block that had the scratches. I did a test fit and it looks like it's going to line up and work. So, we will find out soon enough. So I think that's going to wrap up today's project. Sump and the block, they're drying out pretty nice. I'm just laying them here in the sun. I put my piston and crankshaft and the rod and the pin all in that baggie. There's my good crankshaft. And then I ordered a new crankshaft timing gear. This right there you can see, that's the keyway, it's damaged. It's gone. I'm guessing from too much heat from previous owner. So once I get that, we'll try to put this all back together. I did not order a gasket. This gasket doesn't look that bad. I'm surprised. I've never taken a sump off and not destroyed this gasket. Like a big old chunk. You know, like a chunk like that will come off. It'll be stuck on the sump. So I might get some gasket sealer, but I think the rest of this gasket is salvageable. It's all an experiment anyway, so I don't want to sock a whole lot of money into it. This gear I ordered it online for under $7, including shipping, so I didn't think that was too bad. So when it comes, we'll do a follow-up video, and we'll see if we can hear this thing run. Thanks for watching.